I'm Lindy. I'm the Welsh representative for 24/7 Prayer International. It's a movement that started when some young people in Chichester got hold of the idea of praying for maybe a month because they heard that the Moravians prayed for 100 years. So they did. And out of that grew this amazing movement of people around the world who were praying non-stop. And Wales became a part of that because as a youth worker, somebody came and put into my hand the vision poem that Pete Gregg wrote in that first ever prayer room. And it speaks of young people who are disciplined, who will give up their lives for the cause. And yes, that vision was in line completely with the vision that God had given me of a dragon's head. And I was scared, but God said, don't fear, stand up. So I stood up. And as I stood, I was bigger than the dragon. He didn't like it. And he tried to rock me. He tried to knock me over with his tail, slashing at me with his talons. And then I picked up my foot and I stomped on the head of the dragon. And with that, God gave me these words. I'm raising up the youth of this nation to trample the head of the dragon, the serpent, strong and mighty warriors, enabled to stand against the devil's schemes, empowered by his spirit, strong because they are pure, uncompromising. Hurt, marginalised, poor, sick, unloved, those who don't have hope, who are crying out for mercy. I hear their cries, I feel their tears as they fall to the ground, and I will lift them up. They will be a strong army, a powerful force because of their purity. They will break down the divisions enforced by the enemy. They think outside the church buildings and constraints, not tradition, but freedom. They will break the enemy's head as they march. I saw them. I saw these young people from this nation marching across the whole of the nation in arrow formation, and they were unstoppable. And God said to me, I want you to raise up the young people to march on their knees. If you take an arrowhead and you throw it, it doesn't go very far. But if you put a shaft and a flight on that arrowhead, it will pierce armour. But then he started showing me some of the groups that I would be speaking to. They were older people. Every time I turned up at something, there were no young people there. There were people who were in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And they were passionate about God. And they had been praying for something to happen across the nation and in their communities and across the world, really, for so many years. And they were the ones who were the shaft and the flight. And they were the ones that I was to be inspiring to get behind the young people, to encourage them on. And so I thought, wow, do you know, God has a different way of doing things to what we do. Really, I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to help you, give you any resources that you need. So why not? This is about revival.